Today, I want to encourage somebody. I don't know what you're facing right now, but if you feel like life has been heavy, if you've been in a low moment, if you've been feeling overwhelmed, discouraged, or like you just can't catch a break, I want you to know something. This is not the end of your story because you still have purpose, you still have value, and there is still that is more ahead for you. Now, you might be looking around at your life and like you're saying, like, I don't see how things are going to change. But today I want to help you shift your focus, not just on what's happening around you, but what's going on within you. Because before anything can change on the outside, something has to change on the inside. And today I want to talk to you about doing the inner work. Okay. I want to talk to you about why inner work matters. Now, there are things that you got to do externally. Like, let's be real, because we have to live. So it's things that we have to do, right? Externally. But you have to show up. And the thing that I want to talk to you guys about, that before I even just get into the inner work, like, you have to do external work. Like, you got to handle your responsibilities. Like, it's not just a time, when focusing on the inside of yourselves, it's not just a time to where you can just say, hey, I'm going to forget about all of my responsibilities and I'm just going to focus on me. In the real world, in reality, sometimes we don't have that leisure, or we don't have that luxury to be able to just forsake everything external and only focus on ourselves and our inside. Like, sometimes we have to put in the work that is required. But what I've learned is that if you don't start working on your heart, if you don't start working on your thoughts and your emotions and your belief system, then no matter how much you change your environment, you still carry the same brokenness into every new opportunity. And I know because I've been there before. But what I want to encourage you to do today is you've got to do the inner work. Okay. You have to heal on the inside. And let me be real with you for a minute, okay? Because I want to talk to you guys about just what I've been through so you can understand that, like, this isn't just me talking about some stuff that I have not been through, but I've been through some things, you guys. Like, back in 2022, that was my first year in business. And during my first year of business, I made over $750,000 in my first year of business, the most money that I ever made in my entire life. Probably more money than I made with all the years that I was working before then. But the thing about that is, you did hear that right. And I was doing well in business. Like, it was booming. My life was good. And one of the reasons I was winning was because I was solid internally. Like, it wasn't just about what I had. It wasn't just that I had my businesses and my investments at the time. It's not just that I was making the most money that I ever had in my life, but it's because I also had peace. I had clarity. I had confidence within myself, and I was spiritually grounded, and I was really mentally strong. But then things started happening and life hit. Literally the year after, in 2023, things change. Things change. Like, in 2022, my business partner, he passed away. And when he passed away, a lot of things happened in my life that I'm not even going to go into, but a lot of things happened. And business wasn't the same. But even beyond that, people that I trusted betrayed me. Opportunities dried up and things around me started to fall apart. But here's where I messed up. You see, I let what was happening around me start to get inside of me. My peace was gone. My confidence faded, and I stopped believing. And just like that, I found myself in the lowest place that I've ever been. Not because I didn't have talent, not because I wasn't capable, but because I was broken on the inside. And when I started rebuilding, I didn't start with money, y'all. When I started rebuilding, I didn't start with strategy. I started with inner work. That's what I'm talking about. I didn't just start with getting things together externally, because I'm going to let you guys even know this. Because I didn't do inner work in that moment, because of all the external things that was happening on the outside, with all the business thing, even within my marriage, some things was not going well. Me and my wife, we were during the time of everything that was going on, we also had our second child that was diagnosed with a special needs condition. And we had our third child, but he was our second child with a special needs condition. And so with everything going on in my life, like I was broken so much on the inside. But and so what happened was I hit rock bottom. Financially, I hit rock bottom. In my marriage, I hit rock bottom. As a father, providing for my family, I hit rock bottom. Spiritually, I hit rock bottom. And emotionally, I was broken. I was damaged, you guys. Like I was in the place to where I didn't even want to continue going. I wanted to give up, y'all. That's how crushed I was. My spirit was crushed. Spiritually, I was messed up. Like it was the place to where I was really confused about what was going on in my life. The questions that I asked God was, why is all of this stuff happening to me? Why did all this stuff happen to me? Because it did start with my business partner passing away. And everything since then just trickled down because inside I was broken. Even as well, I was grieving the loss of my business partner on top of that, because out of a lot of people, he was also one of the ones that really poured into me. Like he really poured into me. He really believed in me and he encouraged me on a daily basis. And when he passed and everything that happened, I was broken. But I started to do the work on the inside. When I started to rebuild my life, coming from this broken place, coming from rock bottom, you guys, I started to do the inner work. Like I started going to therapy. Like I started to pray and I started reading books, feeding my mind with the truth. You see, I was filling my heart with God's words that was changing the way that I thought. I was changing the way on how I believed and what the things that I believed about myself. And guess what? As I healed on the inside, things on the outside started shifting. Like my marriage began to get stronger. My vision came back. My business started moving again. And even though I'm still growing right now, even though I haven't fully made it out, I'm still moving forward. And it's because of the work that I did on the inside, because I found peace on the inside. I got my vision back. I got my mind back, because when all of those things happened, I did lose my mind, y'all. I lost my vision. I lost my confidence. I was broken, right? Like we hear of the story of Humpty Dumpty and how, he had a great fall and they couldn't put him back together again. I say that because I was in a place to where I really believed that that was the end of my story. Like I thought that I could not get put back together again. I was so broken that I wanted to give up. But I did the work so that I can grow. I did the work that I needed to do to work on myself, right? To build myself up, to build my heart up so I can remove all of that hate that was inside of me, all of the pain that was inside of me. I turned that pain and I turned it around. And so that was the inner work that I did. And I'm still moving forward today. And the thing about it is because of the inner work that I did while I'm able to move forward. So now I want to help you guys do the same thing, because I took everything that I went through and all of the pain and all of the suffering and all of the hurt and all of the brokenness that I went through. Like I was able to heal and I was able to do the inner work to be able to find myself again. And I want to help you guys do the same. I want to give you 5 steps to start doing the inner work for yourself. And I'm not going to rush through these because I want you to sit with them. I want you to feel them and reflect on them, because this is where real transformation begins. Like this is where your life starts to change around. No matter where you are right now, no matter how broken you are, no matter the darkest place that you can be in right now, with doing the inner work, this is when your life starts to change. Like this is when everything in your life shifts, your future shifts, your story shifts. The chapter is turned in that book that your story is being written in. And so I want to encourage you with step 1. And that's creating daily quiet space. Okay, first, you got to create daily quiet space, not just physical silence, but emotional silence, mental stillness, your soul stillness, and spiritual stillness. You see, we live in a world that never stops moving. Our phones are always going off. There's noise, it's opinions, it's pressure coming from every direction. But if you never pause to listen to yourself, you'll never know what needs to be healed. Like this quiet space is where you pray. It's where you reflect. It's where you journal. It's where you breathe and where you hear from God. But it's also where you check in with your heart. This quiet space is where all of these things, you're able to do all these things to get reconnected and to find yourself again. And in that quiet space, you need to start by asking questions like, what am I actually feeling right now? Wherever you are in your life, like ask yourself, what am I actually feeling right now? What have I been carrying that I haven't addressed? And you see, for me, in my quiet space, I had to understand and go through these questions and just really figure out what was going on. And I have to ask myself honest questions, and I had to be real with myself. Like the pain that I was feeling, the hurt that I was feeling from the people that did me wrong, the people that let me down, how everything happened when my business crashed, and when I found myself just being in $250,000 of debt, when I found my credit score being in the 300s, when I found my marriage being on the rocks, when I found myself as a father not being there for my kids on how I wanted to be there for my kids. I had to ask myself these questions, right? I had to ask myself, like, where do I feel out of alignment? And I have to really ask myself these deep questions, like, what is it that is going on that has me in this place? And the thing about it is, when you're in that place of quietness, when you're in that place to where you're asking yourself these questions, you need to listen, right? Because the thing about it is, when you ignore what's going on the inside, it doesn't disappear. It just grows in the dark. But when you sit still long enough to face it, you give yourself permission to heal, you guys. And this space, it might only be 15 minutes at the start, but that 15 minutes could save your life. That 15 minutes could give you peace of mind that will help carry you through the day. That 15 minutes could give you all that you need just to be able to make it from one day to the next day, from 1 month to the next month. You see, it gives your heart a place to breathe. It gives your mind space to reset, and it opens doors for God to speak to you. So what I want to encourage you guys with today is to really think about taking time out of your day, right? To focus on just coming to a place of rest, coming to a place of quietness to where it's just you. It's just you and God. It's just you and, not your negative thoughts. And I will say that, a place of peace. And for me, that is something that I do on a daily basis. Like when I start my day or when I end my day, it's either or, because sometimes I have to start my day fast. Sometimes at the end of the day, that's when I get it in. But I always like to have just a moment of silence. And for me, it's 20 to 30 minutes to where I breathe. I take time to relax. I take time to let go of the pressures, not to think about where I am in life, not to think about what's going wrong, not to think about all the tasks and all the things that I have to do. And so I encourage you to find a place of quietness. And number two, what I desire and encourage for you guys to do is to replace lies with truth. Replace lies with the truth. You see, you got to replace those lies that you hear inside of your head with the truth. Because so many of us, like, we're fighting invisible battles within our mind. Like, we walk around every day thinking thoughts like, I'm not enough. I'll never get better. Nobody cares about me. We say things to ourselves like, my past disqualifies me from having a better future. And let me tell you, those aren't just thoughts. They're weapons. And if you don't take them captive, they will shape how you live. Here's the truth. Whatever you repeat, you start to believe. I'm going to say that again. Whatever you repeat, you start to believe. Whatever you're constantly saying on a day-to-day basis, that's the thing that starts to grow. That's the thing that you start to believe. So when you constantly say that I'm never going to be good enough, that I'm not good enough, that my life can't be better, when you say that I'm too broken to be fixed, that's what you will start to believe. And the thing about it is, whatever you believe, you will begin to live out. Whatever you believe, you will start seeing that manifest in your life. You will start seeing that happen in your life, to where if you're in a difficult season in life, if you're in a negative place in life, or, going through some difficult times, if you repeat that I'm just going through difficult times, I'm going through a lot, my life is so bad right now. That's what will happen. Like, it's going to come from the inside, and you're going to see that for real in your life. And things won't get better because of the way that you believe. So you gotta fight back. Like, every time a lie enters your mind, you have to stop and ask, where did this come from? And is it true? Right? You have to ask yourself that question, but then you also have to replace it with truth. You have to replace it with truth. I know when I was in that difficult situation, when I was in that difficult moment in my life, I was repeating things that I shouldn't say. Like, I was saying, like, Josh, I knew that you couldn't do it. I knew that I wasn't good enough. That's what I was telling myself, that I wasn't good enough. You thought you were somebody. Look at you now. You're nobody. Like, I was repeating things in my mind and speaking it to myself. But once I start to take those thoughts captive, once I start to really ask myself, like, Josh, why do you think that you can't be successful? Like, why do you think that you can't bounce back from this? And I have to replace those negative thoughts to say, no, I can bounce back from this. Like, I can do all things that God gives me the strength to do. Like, I can, no matter where you are. I want to encourage you, and I want to speak life into you right now. Right? Because sometimes we don't have the strength to speak life into ourselves in those difficult moments. And so I want to encourage you that no matter where you are right now, it's not too late. It's not too hard. The problem that you have in your life, I want you to know that you are more than able to overcome, that you are more than able to be a conqueror, like you are more than able to make it out. I want you to know that there is light at the end of the tunnel for you. I want you to know that this is not the end of your story. No matter what is going on in your life, that it is not the end of your story, and that you are going to see that you have strength that you never had before. You are going to see the real you. You are going to see the person that is able to overcome, the person that is resilient. I want you to know that you are going to continue to fight, that you are going to continue to push yourself. You are going to continue to believe in yourself. And I want you to know that you can make it out. And I say that because I made it out. Like, all those negative thoughts that I had, all of those negative feelings that I had, I made it out. And if I can make it out, I know that you can make it out. So be encouraged in this moment to be able to speak life and to replace those negative thoughts, to replace those lies with truth. You see, I want to give you an example. Right? Because if the lie is that I'm too broken to be used, the truth about that is God is close to the brokenhearted. You see, he still has a purpose for you. He still has a purpose for you. And this isn't just something that you think once and move on. This isn't something that you think about once and that you just move on. No, you write it down. You speak it. You declare it over your life every day until the truth gets louder than the lies. Because listen, your life will always follow your thoughts. And if you want your life to change, you have to start by changing what you believe. And the next thing that I want you to think about, and the next thing that I want you to do, is I want you to feed your mind with growth. Okay? Feed your mind with growth. You see, feed your mind with positive things, because if all you're feeding yourself with is negativity, with drama, with gossip, with fear, and with junk content, don't be surprised when your life reflects that. You see, growth doesn't happen by accident. You have to be intentional about what you consume. You have to read books that stretch your thinking. You have to listen to podcasts or sermons that build you up. You have to watch content that inspires you to grow. And most importantly, you have to stay in the Word of God. And the reason why I say stay in the Word of God, most importantly, is because when you're in a place to where you're broken, when you're in a place to where you are down, to where you are in your dark moment in life, one of the things that you need is the Word of God. You see, because your faith has to build up. Because in moments of your weakness, we're not strong in our faith. Like I remember for me, my faith was a mustard seed. But I want to encourage you that in the Word of God, it talks about all you need is faith the size of a mustard seed to be able to move a mountain. And so I want you to think about that, okay? I want you to think about depending on the Word of God and reading the Word of God so that the Word of God can saturate you. Because faith comes by hearing and hearing by the Word of God. So if you don't have belief on today, I want to encourage you to pick up the Bible and read the Bible so that way you can get life. So that way you can speak life, see life, read life, write it down. And then you can start to get the Word of God on the inside of you. Because every time you feed your mind with something that aligns with your future instead of the fear, you're planting seeds. And those seeds, they will grow. And I want to really point that out. When I talk about you're planting seeds, I want to point that out because it's important to know that it's not going to happen overnight. It's important to know that your life isn't just going to change, boom, because you made the decision today, but it's going to be a process that you have to go through. Like I want to be honest with you guys. Like I would love to say that your life, once you do all of these things, I want to say your life is going to change tomorrow and it never is going to be the same. You're never going to go back to that place. But I can't say that to you because I know even within my journey, it took about 2.5 years for me to really come back to my full self, to where I have full peace, to where I have full joy, to where my mind, I'm not stressed out. I don't have anxiety. I'm not worried. I'm not depressed. It took me some time to really work on the inside, to put in the work on the inside. And I know that it is reflecting on the outside, but I know that the full picture is going to come into view soon. So what I want to encourage you today with is to make a decision. For the next 30 days, just feed your mind something every day that helps you grow. Even if it's just 10 minutes, okay? Because that one shift in your input could unlock something in your mindset that changes your life. Because one thing about it is you can't change your outer world if you keep feeding your inner world the same poison. And if you are in a place to where you're in a low moment in life, you're in a dark moment in life, and you have access to the internet, I would encourage you to go on YouTube because there's a lot of content on YouTube that you can listen to. You can listen to the Word of God. You can listen to daily devotionals, right? Early in the morning. You can listen to people that has made it out of the things that you are going through. You can listen to those things so that way you can be empowered, you can be inspired, and you can be motivated. And you can listen to that throughout the day. And you'll find yourself really having a change on the inside. And then you'll be able to see like, hey, my life is changing. And what I want to go into next is step number 4. And that's get accountability. But not only get accountability and a safe space. You see, you need accountability and a safe space. Listen to me. You were never meant to heal in isolation. And I get it. Like maybe you've been hurt before. Maybe people have betrayed your trust. Maybe you learned how to suffer silently and smile publicly. But isolation is where the enemy does his best work. When you're isolated, you start believing the lies that aren't even true. Like you start spiraling. And no one's there to pull you back when you're in isolation. And that's why you need safe people, people who can check on you, people who can be real, people who can be real with you, but also people that you can be real with as well. Like people who won't just tell you what you want to hear, but people will tell you things of what you need to hear, not just what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. People that's going to be honest with you, people that love and care about you. You see, whether that's a therapist, a mentor, or a small group, or just one friend who loves you enough to tell you the truth, you need them. Because healing happens faster and deeper when you're not doing it alone. And I can attest to this within my own journey, you guys. When I was dealing with the pain all by myself, it only got worse. When I was dealing with the trauma, with the trust issues, with the insecurity, with the depression, when I was in isolation, when I was in my own thoughts, it got worse. But as I began to open up and as I began to talk to different people, and for me, one of the persons that I opened up to first was my pastor. Then after opening up to my pastor, then I started opening up to some of my family members, some of the family members that were still in my life that I trusted. And then I started opening up to some of my friends. And then I started to open up. Then I got therapy. And therapy was a big help for me because I did trust my therapist. And I was able to open up and really share with my therapist the things that was going on. And it really helped me in that moment. It really helped me to understand how to deal with the pain, how to deal with the trauma, how to deal with everything that I was going through. And I did that for 6 months. But the thing about it is, when I was done with therapy, I had received tools to help me to really understand how to deal with my emotions, how to deal with myself. And so as I went further in having my silent time, it was many days where I would talk to myself, where I would not try to hide the pain, where I would not try to hide what I'm feeling, but even that trickled down to even going into other parts of my life, to where my relationship with my wife, it got better. Because I was able to really communicate my feelings and the things that was going on. And it also made me better because also when I met new people, when I got new mentors, I opened up and they did help. And that helped me to become better because I wasn't just alone. You see, even when I had episodes to where it was I really got depressed, I really got low, I got confused all over again in my mind. Like with me having the people in my life to help me, they spoke life into me. They spoke life to me out of love because they cared for me. And I really appreciate everyone that helped me, that poured into me as I got through, as I was going through one of my darkest and lowest moments. And I'll be honest, I didn't just do this all by myself, but I had help, and I'm grateful that I opened up. I'm grateful that I got the help that I needed, that I didn't even know that I needed at the time, because for me, I thought I was strong enough. Like for me, I thought that I can do it all by myself, but also I was scared to open up because I was broken. I was scared to open up because I didn't know who to trust. But I'm glad that I let my pride to the side. I let my insecurities to the side, and I opened up and I healed. And so I want to go into the next thing. And the fifth step that I want to share with you guys is that you have to track your growth, not your perfection, okay? Not the perfection. You have to track your growth. You see, you have to track how you're making progress, because inner work is not a one-time fix. It's not about waking up tomorrow and having it all figured out. It's about progress. It's about small, consistent steps that build over time. And at the end of each week, I want you to ask yourself, did I grow this week? Did I handle something better than I would have last month or last week? Like, did I pause before reacting? Did I choose truth over fear? And if the answer is yes, even once, that's progress. That's the work. because you don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep moving forward. And if you stay committed to the process and you take it one day at a time, you'll look back and you realize, like, I'm not the same person that I used to be. And that's important because as you're going along this progress, I will let you know that you might slip back. You might take a few steps back because life is still going on and different things different pressures, different situations happen. And sometimes as you're going through your healing process, you're healing, but then something happens and then it triggers you and then you take 5 steps back. And I've been there. I've been there to where it felt like, man, like I was making progress, but then things happen and then I'm triggered and then I'm right back to where I was. But then as I reflect and I look, I got better and better and better. With trusting people, I got better and better and better. With finding my purpose, with finding myself again, with speaking life in myself, I got better and better, better and better. I took it one day at a time. And in that moment, like I'm telling you about my 2.5 year journey, you guys. It's 2.5 years. Yes, 2.5 years, guys, that I've been going through, but it's actually 3 years, but 2.5 years that I actually started on my process of getting better. And what I can say to you guys is I've gotten better because of all of these action steps that I took. I've gotten better and I'm here in my right mind. I'm here to where I'm whole again. I'm here encouraging you guys and giving you a framework to help you go through the things that you're going through because I made it out and I understand how it is and I understand what it's like to be going through a lot of things in life, and mainly I understand what it's like to be in a place to where you can't even control everything. Okay, I've been there and I encourage you to go ahead and continue. Just play this back if you need to write down the steps. Okay, so hear me. What I want you to know is that you don't have to stay broken. I want you to know that you don't have to keep repeating the same cycles, that you don't have to fake being strong while you're falling apart on the inside, just like I was. Like, you have the power with God help to rebuild, to heal, to grow. You have the power to become the person that you were always meant to be. But it does start within. So do the inner work one step at a time and watch how your whole life will begin to shift. I want to encourage you and let you know that you have this. I want to let you know that you can do it. I know that it may seem hard in this moment. I know that the pain is so difficult. I understand how it is, how you may feel in this moment. I understand that it looks like and it feels like your world is crashing down. But I want to encourage you and empower you today to let you know that if you start your journey today, that if you move forward today, if you take action and you show up for yourself, if you show up for your future and you follow this and you implement this, I want to let you know that you will make it out just like I did. And so I hope that you were encouraged by this video on today. And if you were encouraged, if you have received something that was valuable, what I would love for you to do is go ahead and comment down below. Just comment, what was it that spoke to you? What was it that you got value from? What is it that you're going to implement in your life today? What is it that you're going to do after watching this video? What actions are you going to take? Go ahead and comment down below. But what I also want you to do is I want you to share this with someone that you know who needs to hear this message. I want you to share this with someone. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a coworker, maybe it's a family member, or maybe it's just someone totally random. Maybe it's just sharing it on your Facebook or just sharing it on Instagram. But what I would like for you to do is share this with someone that you know who needs to hear this, because it's a lot of us that's going through difficult times, but I'm here to let you know that we can make it out. And I just hope that you will share that with someone. And if you know the person that's going through, just let them know that you are thinking about them. Let them know that you care about them. And that's why you're sending them this video. But also, if you want to go ahead and stay connected to our channel, go ahead and stay connected to my channel. What I want you to do is go ahead and subscribe. What I want you to do is follow me so that you can get daily encouragement. Okay. And so what I want to leave you guys with is out of everything that I said, I really want you to know that I believe in you. I believe that no matter where you are in life right now, no matter what the difficulty is, no matter what the pain, no matter what the trauma is, I want you to know that you can make it out. Until next time, you guys, I'll see you later.